Hi everyone, my name is Troy Love. This is my reflection video on groups that I have observed. Some of the groups that I have observed have been staff meetings at Guardian Ad Litem between me and my supervisor, trainings that I have attended, group facilitation in the classroom setting, and most recently a Guardian Ad Litem facilitators course that I took, where I observed the facilitator teaching us how to facilitate a group as well. Some of the things that I noticed in these task groups were that they were group-centered, they usually had subgroups, and they were all goal-oriented. The group that I really resonated with the most was the Guardian Ad Litem Trainers Facilitators course. This was an educational task group meant to teach us how to facilitate a Guardian Ad Litem training course by following the Guardian Ad Litem curriculum. This training was very group-centered. She focused primarily on making sure that we ourselves did the activities that the volunteers would be doing, so we could experience what kind of emotion they may be going through at the time when they're completing the activity, covering the concerns they may have, and just having to look at it from a facilitator standpoint instead of as a volunteer standpoint, even though we were doing the activity as a volunteer. We were divided into subgroups. Well, we kind of went into subgroups immediately because we kind of sat with who we may have felt comfortable with. I was paired with two ladies, and there was three other groups in the class. Well, two other groups in the class, three groups in total. In my group, we had some chit chat and we did a lot of work together. And then whenever we had time on breaks, we would break up and we talk about things that we were learning so far and talk about Guardian Ad Litem as a whole. So I could definitely define it as a subgroup. The thing that I liked the most about the facilitators training was that the entire time she kept our facilitator name was Liz, and she kept telling us that the goal of this facilitators training was to learn the curriculum and how to teach it to volunteers, following strictly the curriculum, not including our personal ideas, our personal opinions, but strictly facts and strictly from the curriculum. This was something that I noticed that many people had trouble with, because being knowledgeable about something makes you want to include your personal ideas, but then you want to put those personal ideas and opinions onto others. To prevent that, that was the reason that we have the curriculum to keep us on task. She felt that if we start including our personal ideas, it can deter some volunteers, or difference of opinions may occur. But by following the curriculum, you can always cue them back to the curriculum and explain that this is exactly what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. So you can keep bringing in the group's purpose and making sure that we stay on task. Many times during this training, members of the training group would want to talk about other things that they could implement or other things they experienced. And she was quick to affirm their ideas and give them affirmation, but to bring them back to the purpose of the task group and bring them back to the purpose of why we were there, to follow the curriculum and to teach that to the volunteers who don't know as much as we already know about Guardian Ad Litem. And I felt that this was something that would be very important when I'm facilitating groups, to understand that and to make sure that I stay on task. So the thing that I picked up while I was in the training was the autonomy of learners, which is the understanding of different learning styles in the room. Things like role plays are good for those people that need to get up and do the activity. But for those who are visual learners or audio learners, we also need to explain it in a way through the curriculum that they can understand, and maybe even include writing the words out so they can see them, so they can remember it, just to understand that we covered all the learning styles in the room. Something else that I noticed that I wanted to grow from and change was that I wanted to stay on task and stay goal oriented, and not engage in a personal disclosure with group members whenever they may bring up a great point, and I may want to further that. But in that capacity of educational group, it's not necessary to continue that conversation, and we need to get back to the task. And those kind of questions can be for after the group is over with. I love how she extended the power within the group many times to give us the floor to talk. And even when we were going off task, she would let us finish our statements and let us get our ideas out, but she would bring us back to that. And then she also taught us that accepting feedback, when we ask after the group is over with, how many people got something from it, not feeling the need to explain or defend ourselves, just to say thank you. I felt like that was a huge thing for me, because whether good or bad, I like to explain the reason why I did some things, or like give a better understanding why I did some things. But like she said, that's not necessary, because at some point you can make somebody feel like you're criticizing their criticism or their feedback of you. And all you need to do as a facilitator is say thank you, because you asked for that opinion. So that's only the way you can grow from that. So I feel like with learning all of these things, that as I facilitate my last group for my process recording, that I will be able to facilitate it well by implementing some of these styles, including more for the visual and audio learners, because the role plays I have done in the past. So I want to kind of start writing more things out for some people that may learn that way, and continue to extend power. Definitely stay on task and stay goal oriented, and at the end accept feedback with just a thank you. Thank you.